chief hired an Israeli company to spy on peaceful protesters who were protesting everything. You know, they were protesting for gay rights. They were protesting against.
In fact, let me stop you. Will you call Kurt Nimmo in here, because he reported on this yesterday, and the governors had to apologize. But I didn't know it was an Israeli company. I know they're training most of our Homeland Security. That's even worse. A foreign. I mean, you know, the ADL is basically the same thing. I said this looked like a local ADL group. They paid $125,000 to create these reports. But yeah, Tea Parties, gay rights activists, everybody being listed as terrorists. And you're saying, Wayne, it's an Israeli company.
It's absolutely an Israeli company. It operates out of a post office box in Philadelphia and another post office box in Jerusalem. But I would note that the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and Huffington Post and other media outlets have ignored the Israeli connection.
Oh, no, it's the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that within... And they have this beat writer who basically is a shill for the ADL Southern Poverty Law Center. Within 2 hours of Poplawski killing those cops, they came out and said he did it for Alex Jones. I forced retractions. But that shows that within 2 hours of these cops being dead, they tried to frame me for causing it when it turned out he was a white supremacist who hated me. I mean, that is really scary.
Well, and the name of this outfit is called Institute of Terrorism Research and Response. And as I say, it has a headquarters listed in Jerusalem, and an office with a post office box is listed as their address.
Well, I've got Kurt Nimmo. I've got Kurt in here right now, and we're just learning of this. See, that ties into the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and that writer that mainly writes ADL, Southern Poverty Law Center pieces, that tried to basically frame me for those, for causing those cops. Madsen's naming how it's an Israeli company and saying the media is covering it up.
You're talking about Poplawski, right?
Well, I'm talking about how going back, I bet it's the... Never mind, Kurt. Just go. I don't know why I called you in here. The point is, I just want to get on this Israeli thing immediately. All right, thanks a lot. In fact, maybe you should call Madsen right when the show ends and just get it directly from him, because he's doing the research on it. Madsen, when you leave us, can Kurt Nimmo call you for 10 minutes and get...
Oh, absolutely. And you can go on. It's now being reported in certain media outlets that the Israeli connection to this company that Rendell hired. Now, the other thing is Rendell's saying he didn't know anything about it. Rendell is one of the most corrupt governors Pennsylvania has ever had. So the idea that he said he wasn't aware of this is sort of ridiculous at face value.
Well, I mean, Homeland Security is riddled with private contractors like XE. It's riddled. I mean, I've got all the news headlines where the Israeli Mossad is, quote, training state police. The ADL is their admitted front. That came out in criminal prosecutions in the 90s in San Francisco. And so the Israelis are not just lobbying in our country. They are actively, if this is the case, and I know it's been confirmed in the past, demonizing the Tea Party.
Right. And the other thing I think is interesting is people were protesting against this natural gas drilling in Pennsylvania. One of the companies involved with that is now has Tom Ridge, former Homeland Security Secretary, as an advisor to, as a lobbyist for it. So here you have people being spied on by an Israeli company. And you've also not only have Rendell involved, but potentially you've got Tom Ridge involved, a former governor of Pennsylvania.
Your phone is cutting out a lot there, Wayne. Repeat what you were saying about the gas explosion.
Well, we not only had people who were protesting the BP oil spill, but also people protesting the natural gas drilling in Pennsylvania. And they were being spied on, and one of the companies involved in that natural gas drilling in Pennsylvania is getting lobbying support from former Governor Tom Ridge of Pennsylvania, who we all know is also a former Secretary for Homeland Security.
And he admits in his book last year that they put out fake terror alerts, which under the Patriot Act is an act of terrorism. They admit they put out fake terror alerts for political gain to scare us.
Right, and I think what we're seeing here is just the creation of this Homeland Security conundrum is allowing companies like Blackwater and this Israeli company in Jerusalem and Philadelphia to just take advantage of all this money that was made available. And the only people who are suffering, of course, are the American taxpayers, who are not only being ripped off by, with the taxes they pay for this nonsense, but also in the price they pay for their privacy.
Well, this is a total private contractor and foreign government takeover of every facet of our lives, with huge private intelligence groups brainwashing our police. And now it's come out that they made a secret deal 10 years ago to steal the death benefits of 6 million veterans, and it's reported like it's no big deal. I mean, this government is just the most criminal group I could ever imagine.
Well, absolutely, and I think we also have to look at the whole this Blackwater operation. There were hearings after hearings on Blackwater that involved all these CIA folks, Buzzy Krongard and his brother there at the State Department, Cookie Krongard. None of these people ever went to prison, and it was proven that there was not only nepotism, but there was all sorts of financial fraud going on in letting these contracts.
And now the XE contracts are getting bigger. Let's come back and recap this and get into a few other key areas. Wayne Matson's our guest.
Afraid to answer it? Afraid to answer your door? Did you know that debt settlement, bankruptcy, and attorneys will cost you about 10 times more than you would legally be required to pay creditors? These are not ways to help you get out of debt. They are expensive payment plans. And if you're in debt already, does it make sense to load yourself up with another payment plan? Zero debt in 90 days gets you out of debt in 90 days, guaranteed. And that's the website you need to visit right now, ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. Zero debt in 90 days gets you out of debt without a payment plan and without attorneys or going to court. ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com is the quickest solution to debt relief on the planet. If you have more than $25,000 in credit card debt, student loans, or difficult mortgage situation, we can help, and we are the only organization to provide written guarantees on the results. Go to ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. That's ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the info war. Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty films.
Just what emergencies do I need to be prepared for?
Terrorism, economic collapse, or the overdue big quake. The immediate time frame after any disaster when you may be on your own is critical. That's why you need a 72-hour kit from survivalsolutions.com. Our 72-hour kits have been researched, tried, and tested for 3-day survival. 72-hour emergency kits from survivalsolutions.com provide 114 essential items, including food, water, light, shelter and warmth, cooking, first aid, sanitation, and communication. Just add your personal items, clothing, and important papers, and you're ready for any emergency. That's 114 essential life-sustaining items. Order now and get a free Millennium food bar with each 72-hour kit purchase. Call 801-965-0777 or go to survivalsolutions.com. That's 801-965-0777 or survivalsolutions.com, home of the complete 72-hour emergency kit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we did a search term yesterday, and it did become #1. We weren't able to get a screenshot of it, but I saw news outlets pointing out that the term Gates death panels did become the #1 search term. And I do this because hundreds of blogs and newspapers then, when it becomes the #1 search term for a few hours, they link through, they read our stories, we reach new people. And I hadn't done one of these in a week and a half until yesterday, and we did it. I don't know if we'll be successful now. Today, with a new search term, here at the very end of this hour, it's up to you. Please make this new one the #1 search term, and then we're going back to Wayne Madsen. Please get the article, Eco-Fascists Call for Tyranny to Enforce Draconian Agenda. And it gets into the death panels. It gets into how they're saying they want to arrest people that don't believe in carbon taxes. It's really a detailed report about euthanasia. This is such an important article by Paul Joseph Watson that I contributed to. And so we're going to search the term eco-fascist, just ECO, fascist. And if you put that in right now into Google News, it's our story's the top story. So this is really important. Please put it in your Google search right now, eco-fascist, and that will take you to Eco-Fascists Call for Tyranny to Enforce Draconian Agenda. I'll cover this article in full tomorrow, 11 a.m. when we kick the live program off Central Time. But today's search term, I've never done it, just right at the end, briefly. Let's see if we can do it. Enter it this hour, enter it next hour, enter it this evening, and send this story out to everyone you know, and just enter it in Google over and over again. Eco-fascist, 2 words, ECO, eco and fascist is the search term today. Please help us get this out to everyone. It's a powerful, detailed article so people can really understand that this is all about eugenics. Wayne Madsen, Kurt's in there on, and he's going to call you at the end of the show, because we're going to use you as a source, but I have noticed some other news is reporting this is an Israeli company. But that's like the ADL and Southern Poverty Law Center are Israeli connected, especially the ADL. They're to demonize political speech in the U.S. It's not enough that Israel lobbies the U.S. Isn't this really espionage? If this is confirmed, to have Israeli companies in here demonizing the Tea Party?
I'll tell you, there's another aspect of this. It's being reported by the Philadelphia City paper that this company that was spying on people in Pennsylvania was also offering trips to U.S. college students to go over to Israel to see how they conduct their security operations. 2 universities mentioned by name are Philadelphia University and Arizona State University. Now, that, as far as I'm concerned, with the shady aspects of this company, looks like Mossad recruiting in plain sight, and not one move by the United States government to curtail it on our college campuses.
Well, again, I've never been an enemy or somebody that hates Israel, but I don't like British, Israeli, Chinese, you name it, here infiltrating. Could you imagine if the Chinese were getting paid by Homeland Security and state governments to demonize mainline political, anti-war, Tea Party, you name it, and then the report says they're dangerous terrorists? Can you imagine if the Chinese were doing that, Wayne? How big the hue and cry would be?
Oh, it would go over Fox News, of course, and we don't see a peep out of them on these things. I spoke at a 9/11 seminar over the weekend in New York, and prior to that, the American Jewish Committee put out a press release stating that these people were no different than Terry Jones, the Koran burner. And the 3 mentioned by name were Cynthia McKinney, George Galloway, the MP, and myself. And up there, I said, look, if this were, if there were Italians arrested on 9/11, I would say, Italy might have had a connection. It was 5 Israelis arrested on 9/11.
Well, it's amazing, Wayne. We're going to continue to dig into this. We're going to call you to pick your brain about this so Kirk can get a story out this evening. You can enter it as 1 word or 2 words, eco-fascist with an S. Eco-fascist. Let's make it #1 and reach hundreds of thousands of people today. God bless you all. Great job, crew. Thank you, Wayne Madsen.
Thank you.
You are listening to GCN.
Infowars.com, folks. Retransmission starts now.
Today.
Yeah!
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They sew pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond Gusset Jeans. Made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond Gusset Jeans got it.